This video is sponsored by Card Kingdom. Use the links in the description to visit their store. Hello everyone, we're doing a Tarkir Dragonstorm draft. It's on Arena now, so you can do that. We have a pretty exciting first pick here. Like, Ureni's the kind of card that just wins you the game when you cast it. I mean, it comes down and kills everything and gives you a 10-10 flyer. That's usually just going to do it. The question is whether the format's slow enough that you can take turns off to ramp to get there. And I think this is a good way to find out. I mean, we did have success with Craterhoof Behemoth, which is a similar card. Although I think Ureni wins the game even more often than the Behemoth. I don't know. They win the game a lot, but this pack has a lot of strong stuff because I think first picking Avenger of the Fallen is also great. Like, you're going to do that a lot. Just, 3 mana, 2/4 Death Touch when it can't really mobilize, and then once it can mobilize, it can go kind of crazy. Teaming Dragonstorm seems pretty legit. I think Mammoth Bellow is great. I'm less enthused with the Shrine Keeper, mostly because being a 3/3 that costs 5 is kind of brutal, but yeah, we'll take Ureni and try to build like a ramp deck of some kind. Okay, not really any ramp here. We do have a land that works for us. Which one could take, but it's hard not to take the Exhale. I mean, sure, we want to be a ramp deck, but we're going to have to kill stuff, to get to the point where we can cast Ureni, and the Exhale certainly does that, and, it's in one of the colors that Ureni is in, so I think we probably take the really good removal spell that we have here over the other options. I do think Rally the Monastery is pretty good. It wouldn't surprise me if it's right to first pick that in this format. This card's good, but it doesn't strike me as a powerful enough Jeskai card to be one you first pick. Trying to commit to 3 colors can be rough. I mean, you could pick it and hope you play Jeskai, but your probability of being able to play it is lower than it is something like Rally the Monastery, So, yeah, we'll take the Exhale here. That is an exciting first pick, though, to get Ureni. The world wants us to do ramp. We do have Dracogenesis. Unfortunately, it's horrible and limited. I mean, sure, once I get to 8 mana, I can play my dragons for free, but guess how much Ureni costs? Yeah. So it's like completely pointless and limited. So we do have a ramp spell here. If we're going to go hard on ramping, doesn't seem like a terrible idea to take a ramp spell. At the same time, there's also Channel Dragonfire, which is an incredibly good spell. And like if we're a red-green base, having a couple removal spells is definitely where we want to be. Don't hate Riverwalk technique either. Do I go super hard on ramp here when I think there's an excellent card that is also important for our strategy? That is, live long enough to cast Ureni. I think we take the Dragonfire here over the ramp spell. The ramp is also more likely to wheel. Okay. Well, got a Molten Exhale here, which I think is great. We do have a Dragonstorm Globe, which if I'm going to play it, this is the deck. But I don't think I'll have to try that hard to get it. Sage of the Fang, Wayfarer, Pummeler. These are all pretty good. I'm leaning Exhale more than anything, though. Again, we need to kill things so the game lasts long enough for us to cast Ureni. I do like the Skimmer a fair bit. Early in the format, I've definitely drawn cards with it, and it's been good. But yeah, I think Exhale's great. 2 mana, 4 damage. Yeah. We're doing pretty well on removal now. I can probably move all the ramp up in my pick order ahead of really good removal when we've got 2 Exhales and a Channel Dragonfire. Lots of dragon-themed removal here. But yeah, the 3 mana ramp spell's good. The 4 mana Dragonstorm, Green Dragonstorm would be good. The red one's interesting, admittedly. It's a cool card. Like if you hit a dragon with it, it just goes back to your hand, which is cool. But man, the times where you hit like your Channel Dragonfire for 5 mana, like those are gonna happen and they're not gonna feel good. So I'm not super enthused by the Dragonstorm. The Devotee helps us with our mana a little. It's a 2-drop that can trade for anything. I think it's probably better than Rescue Leopard, although Rescue Leopard does help us more with Harmonize. But yeah, this gives us green and blue, so I mean, I don't hate it. I think Kintry Nurture, well, Wingblade Disciple followed by the Nurture are probably the best cards in this pack, but And there's nothing saying we can't be blue, but I doubt we're going to be a blue deck that triggers Flurry a lot, given what our deck is. All right, well, I think I'll take another Exhale here. At some point, we'll have to take some creatures, but, you know, Exhale's good. I don't hate the Tawny back, but I think the Exhale's better. But, yeah, obviously we do need creatures because we need those for this to work. Works with Death Touch, you know, that's nice. But, yeah. Prioritizing ramp and some low drop creatures is kind of where I want to be at this point. I'm a little surprised to see Dalkovan Encampment still here. I think these lands are all pretty good. I don't hate Sarkhan's Resolve, but I'm probably just supposed to take a gain land here. The Brigade's fine, and I would definitely play one in the deck. Humbling Elder, if blue ended up being a base, it does look more like red-green's going to be our base. Those colors seem more open. I could take the Wilds instead, I guess. Is that... Nah. I think the gain land is slightly better. Yeah. Okay. Well, lots of options here. So something else we can ramp into that's not nearly as awesome, but can help us stabilize in the Earth Carver. Rebuff's not bad. We could splash it. Same for Unending Whisper. This can ramp our mana if we have a dragon in play, but that's a pretty big if. I'm leaning towards taking another 6, another expensive card here, because I think it's so good. Wow, so we're getting like all the red and green removal, which I think is a pretty good sign. I mean, I'm not taking this mediocre of a 2-drop over Molten Exhale number 2, that's for sure. Ice Ridge Serpent wouldn't be terrible. Obviously, we need more fixing, but yeah. Like 2 green Dragonstorms would be great. That's the dream. Okay. So, a couple of good, you know, solid red cards here. So Seize Opportunity is probably awkward in our deck. We're going to hit things we can't ramp into sometimes and then not be able to cast them. I'd probably just take the Feral. Like, it's fine. It's a dragon for all of our dragon payoffs, and, you know, it's a fine card. Nice, this Wield. So that's exactly what we want to see. That's really the only ramp spell we saw the whole draft, and it came back to us. We didn't have to spend any real effort getting it. Take this. I don't think we're going to play it, but yeah, the routines are going to be pretty good. Yeah, Wild Ride is not good. Not for limited. You know, we might play a Rescue Leopard. Another Flamehold Grappler. So, okay. Got a Rebuff, which, you know, we've seen one of these. It's an okay card to splash, I think, with what we're doing. Overwhelming Surge, like... It's nice, but we have so much removal already that I think taking a really good 1-drop, one that's good with Piercing Exhale, is probably better. I do like the Sniper. I think Glacial Dragonhood's pretty good, but if blue is just a splash color, I'm a little less enthused about it. And I think the Sniper is kind of exactly what we want in our deck. You know, wouldn't hate another Devotee, but obviously the Sniper is better. Okay, another Piercing Exhale. This does fix for 2 of our colors. There's also another Swiftwater Cliffs. Meticulous Artisan does ramp and fix. So it's intriguing. It doesn't really seem like a card I need to spend a high pick on, but if I don't take it, I'm probably taking a land, and it's not like if this were the Temur land, it'd probably be the pick. But it isn't. So, you know, and this is just a 2-color gain land, and this still fixes for us while adding to the board, which is probably what we need. So, and if I didn't already have 2 Piercing Exhales, I'd probably consider that, but I think we're probably supposed to take the Artisan. I do like this card, but I think you really need to be able to cast both sides consistently for it to be great. And taking a card that gives us treasure does seem more up our alley than the other stuff in that pack. Ooh. Okay, we got some good stuff here. So we've got another Roamer's Routine, but we've also got the Relic, which is a card I'm really interested in as to whether it can ever actually work. I think we probably want it. It's good fixing for our deck. The question is whether we'll have good enough mana to ever get the other dragon, Like, I'd love to make a deck like that, but when we've got Ureni, we probably aren't supposed to get that distracted. The one thing about the Relic is we do need to keep creatures in play, and, like, you know, we have creatures, but we may not always have them in play, whereas the routine can always grab stuff. Same time, the other routine wheeled, so I think I'm going to take the Relic here. If there's a deck for it, this is it. By the way, this card seems real good, and might be, the Pack Beast might be the best common. I mean, I liked it a lot in the set review, but I think it might be even better. Okay, another Earth Carver. Doesn't seem like I'm desperate for that. Our low curve could use some more creatures, especially now that we picked up a Relic. So I think I'd probably take the Champion here. Unending Whisper is okay. I don't hate another Earth Carver, but it's not, you know, I don't think it's what we need. I think we need a cheap creature. Temur Battlecrier ramps our mana, sort of. It gives us a discount on spells. Not exactly the same thing. It's also a gain land. I think we do probably take the Battlecrier. Our fixing probably needs to be a little bit better if we're going to be casting it consistently, especially early. But, you know, I think it's pretty good overall. I don't hate this card. It's kind of a bummer they had to make it double blue, though. So, like, if you're a red-green based Temur deck, not that easy to play. But yeah, we'll take the Battlecrier here. It says reduce the cost of your expensive dragon on it, so it's hard to say no to that. Okay, so there is a Twin Bolt here. It's not exactly like we're desperate for removal, but the other real option for us is Heritage Reclamation, which I'm not that excited about. So I would probably just take some more removal here. Kind of wild. There are this many Pack Beasts. Like, you know, it's only pick 6, but it feels like Pack Beasts should be going before then most of the time. It just ends up costing 4 or less, like, regularly. So, yeah. Okay. Jeskai Monument can grab a couple of our colors. There's yet another Molten Exhale, though. And I don't think the strategy of cast a bunch of removal early, slow our opponent down, cast a Ureni is bad. Like, you know, I think that's probably just... I think we just take another removal spell. You know, there are some formats where removal is worse, and I think this deck might help us sort that out, because if it feels bad that we're killing stuff with Molten Exhales, then we're going to be in trouble. Okay. I don't hate this dragon. You know, sometimes we'll be able to cast Chilling Screech, and it's okay, and we have a bunch of cards that are better if we have dragons, so I think we're probably supposed to take it. I do like the Tawny back, but with the number of exhales we currently have, I think dragons have moved up in our pick order significantly. All right, we'll take a Devotee. Helps with our mana a bit, and it's, you know, a 2-drop, so... Oh, nice. We get a Swiftwater Cliffs here late. And we get the Roamer's Routine back. I think we take it. We're not really a deck that's probably wanting to cast Fire Rim form. You know, I'll take this Monument. It can grab a couple of our land types, but not being able to use the ability like ever, which it won't quite be true ever, because we have a couple cards that can make mana of any color, but if you can't, it's probably not what we want to be doing. Well, we've seen a couple of Avengers of the Fallen. Okay. No green Dragonstorm, but I'm feeling pretty good about our ramp at this point. Sage of the Fang is nice. We know we're not going to do anything crazy with it in this deck. We're not a counter deck, but it's a good 3-drop, I think. Embermouth Sentinel, you know, is kind of worth a look. Fixes our mana poorly, but once you have a dragon in play, it does get a lot more interesting. Like, it straight up ramps your mana. But even, you know, we have like 3 dragons. I'm not that confident that we'll be able to get the full value out of this enough. And I think I'd rather just have like a quality 3-drop than anything else. So, man, I do love Fangkeeper's Familiar, but obviously it's blue is like our splash color. You know, green is a base color. But yeah, we do have a Frontier Bivouac here. Interesting. We've also got Quarry Mountain Monastery, which is pretty good. Dragon Hunt's pretty good. We're probably supposed to take the Bivouac, though. I mean, it'll make our mana way, way better to have a tri-land in our exact 3 colors. The Tiger, not really where we want to be. It is sweet when you can, like, if you can cast this and then cast Stormshriek Feral. That kind of turn seems great, but there are plenty of turns where you just can't do it. Okay. Well, this card's great. Clearly, whoever's to our right, also not playing black. This pack's a little awkward. I don't love... Like, I like this card, but in a deck where I really need to draw and cast Ureni probably to win, I'm not sure how much I want to be milling myself. I don't have any cards that get things back from the graveyard. All of that said, there's not anything else in this pack for us, and... You know, if I can pick up a way to get cards back from the graveyard, then the Wayfarer would be fine. Yeah, I mean, if there's a deck for the Nest Guard, it might be this one. You know, just a big, dumb insect that can gum up the ground, and well, it doesn't have reach, huh? Fleeting Effigy isn't where we want to be, nor is Windscarred Crag, so... Okay. So, here's a Dragonstorm Globe. How many dragons do we have? 3. One of them's Ureni. We don't really have another one who's, like, amazing to ramp into, but Stormshriek Feral and Runescale Stormbrute, and it fixes our mana. I mean, I think I'm going to try it out here. I don't love the card. You know, I gave it a D+ or whatever in the set review, and I have a feeling that's right, but I think having a little more ramp and fixing is probably good for our deck, and... You know, we've got dragon stuff going on too, so. All right, probably take another gain land over like a Feral or a Brigade. I mean, the dragons are good and all, but making our mana really good is important for, you know, both our Ureni and our Battle Crier and, you know, casting the other side of this. And we have plenty of cheap ways to do things, so I think just shoring up our mana is better. I mean, I wouldn't hate another dragon at this point just because... We have 5 exhales, but I don't think I wanted to go out of my way for one there. So Nest Guard is, again, probably better for us than the underdogs are in Limited. Like, we're not doing anything with that in this deck. So I think we take another Nest Guard. So here's an Auroral Procession, which is a way to get stuff back from the graveyard, but we don't really need to run the Anok at this point. I kind of like the idea of just having one more 6 to ramp into at this point than I do, you know, a very mediocre recursive effect. So we'll take another Earthcarver here. This deck will be interesting, that's for sure. I think our fixing's pretty good. Yeah, I don't think we play the Wayfarer in this particular deck. Okay, well, we're finally going to pick up one of these. Ice Rich Serpent is kind of worth a look, actually. Yeah, I think I'm going to grab a Serpent. Like, it's what we want to do, and we have enough blue mana that I think we can splash one without any real problem. But, you know, add body to the board, bounce their thing, kind of in our wheelhouse for this particular deck. Helps make up for, like, taking a turn off with Roamer's Routine. All right, so here's an Embermouth Sentinel. You know, the Tiger, again, kind of interesting, but probably take the Sentinel. And, yeah, we're not playing any of this stuff. Our deck certainly looks interesting. It is sort of surprising to see gain lands around this late at all. Like, they seem pretty important in the format. That's a 2-drop we could play, actually. I don't hate it as a last pick. The Shock Brigade. We have some trimming to do. Okay. So... we do need some low-curve creatures pretty badly for our Devotee. Or not Devotee, our Dragon Brood's Relic. I think we have the capacity to very occasionally produce 5 between the Globe, and the treasure Meticulous Artisan makes to get all 5 colors. We're not going to run lands to try and have all 5 colors. Like, this is mostly here just as a ramp, as a mana rock. But we can do it. Whether it happens, I don't know. I guess also the Devotee can give us a 4th color in black, potentially. But yeah, the one thing about the Relic that's a little awkward here is we don't have that many 2-drops or 1-drop creatures. Like, this is all, a lot of it's removal. We do have a bunch of 3-drop creatures. So, you know, on turn 2, we're not normally going to be able to use it anyway, and then on turn 3, we'll have it, and we can get our mana up to 5, you know. So, it's probably fine, but it's probably better to have a bunch of 1 and 2s, you know. I'd probably cut the Sentinel. I like the ramping when it works, but with, like, 3 dragons, the cheapest of which is 4 mana, don't know that I see it happening often enough. So, I think we probably cut Rescue Leopard. Like, we're mostly going to be a defensive deck, and it's not a defensive card. Like, it does dig us deeper in our deck, I guess, and we don't have that much card draw. But it's a super awkward way to do it. It dies to 1 mana spells and stuff. So, I think we probably cut a Leopard. It is difficult to cut a whole bunch of our 3-drops because of the Relic, but yeah, I mean, I probably cut Shock Brigade in the end. It is yet another 2 being cut. I could see cutting Twin Bolt in this deck. We just have so much removal that I think is going to be better overall than Twin Bolt typically. Like, you know, if our opponent has 2 3-1s in play, I'm going to wish we had Twin Bolt, but most of the time, these 2 Exhales are going to be way better, or Channel Dragonfire is going to be better. Yeah. I'm leaning towards cutting the Sentinel. I just don't see it actually ramping our mana that much. The question is whether I need to cut the Relic too once I'm that low on 2-drop creatures. It's not like we'll be super short on mana of any color. I mean, on ramp, because we have the 2 Roamers routines, the Globe, the Artisan, you know. I just worry it won't produce mana often enough, or I'll be in spots where I can't tap an untapped creature. And I think if I cut the Sentinel, I also cut the Relic, basically, is where we're at. So I think that is what we do. Because now it doesn't feel that bad that we don't have that much, we don't have any creatures for, like, the super, super early game. And the ones we do have are good with Piercing Exhale, like the 2 Death Touchers. So, I guess maybe, I can maybe see leaving these 2 in and cutting, like, the generic 3-drops that we have. That are just, like, good creatures, but don't really, like, the Champion doesn't really do much for us in terms of our strategy of making the game go long, you know. So I can probably cut it, and maybe it's better cut than other things. It does work with the Battle Crier, but even the Battle Crier on its own will reduce costs, and we have other 4s. And I think this is the deck where you have a Nest Guard. Like, Nest Guard's going to be better than the Champion of Doosan in this deck. So, yeah. But we do still have a couple cuts to make. It's always harder to make cuts at the beginning of a format because cards these days are very rarely as obviously bad as they used to be. So maybe I just end up cutting Sentinel and Relic here in the end too, honestly. Like, I think that's probably fine. Yeah. I think there's a world where it turns out the Globe isn't really what we want to be doing, but if I'm going to try it out, this is the deck for it, you know. So, all right. I think this is our deck. I think they have our mana right. We do want 1 island to grab with Roamer's Routine. That's for sure. And then we have, you know, we have 4 other blue sources that are going to show up all the time. 9 green sources and 8 red sources, which I think is about right. Our early game plays, you know, well, we have kind of a nice mix, but once you get to turn 3, it's much more green dominated. So, yeah, I think this looks like our deck, and it's going to be interesting to try to ramp into this big. Okay, so the complete lack of green mana isn't great. And we've really only got one early play. Do I want to go to 6 here? I mean, it's not a terrible hand. I mean, it's very likely I draw green mana one way or another. But even if I do, having only one early play, I guess if I draw, you know, the right things, I have potentially another one, but I'm probably supposed to mulligan here. All right, this one's not that much better, but it is better, I think. We can at least omen this early, so... Those are both pretty rough hands for how many two mana things that we have. I guess the first one was, like, probably a little better, like, hindsight being 20/20. Well, now I think I just play the Bivouac here. Because we can play the Battle Crier next turn now. And start getting a discount. Would actually let me play the Feral on 4. Oh, God. At least they don't already have a creature in play, but this is the kind of card that it will be tough for us to beat. I'm glad they went with Sultai, honestly. Because if they already had a creature in play, we would have been really, really run over. Yeah, so now we go Battle Crier. Probably Feral. You know, if I had something to ramp into, I might go a different route. But yeah, we're just gonna cast the Feral here. See what happens. Something's probably dying here. Or not. Alright, well that's definitely the right play. We're secretly an aggro deck. Yeah, I mean, we could attack right through that thing, too. And then play both of these creatures, which is pretty great. Yeah, they don't have any mana. They are about to have a bunch of mana. I wonder if I passed any of these. I sort of forgot about it when I was looking for ramp stuff. So yeah, now we go Artisan. I mean, we just want to close out the game next turn if we can. This isn't exactly how I envision most deck games going with this deck, but... Yeah, I think they're dead. They have 1 white mana, I guess. So we'll activate this ability. Tag with everything. Okay. Yeah, that's annoying. Let's see. So they're going to gain a bunch of life. 4, I guess. And I'm going to hit them for 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I don't think that's enough. So we'll just go ahead and Fire Breathe here. Use our treasure. Yeah. I guess they go to 1, right? Because they gain back 4. Yeah, so they go to 1. There's a chance they find a way to stem the bleeding here. But it's like not like we don't have late game plays, and it's going to take them a while. They do have a ton of mana, though. They have 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana, and they have a bunch of cards in their hand. So there's a pretty good chance. Yeah, so there's a flyer that keeps them from being dead. So maybe we want, you know, it looked like we might find a way to win this thing early, but I don't know if it's going to happen now. Well, that helps. Wonder whether they have removal. In the event that they do, I'm going to fight with the Nest Guard. So that this still gets removed, because if I fight with the Feral, they'll just kill the Feral. Yeah, so we do get to surveil here. And we will Behold a Dragon. We don't really want either of those. Yeah, looks like that did enough. Yeah, we had, you know, removal or one of our big creatures would have closed that out since they were at 1. So that works. That's a win. My opponent definitely overused the lands and my right button, but, you know. I think using that once is enough, probably, to convey that you're upset about your mana. Okay. This is the kind of hand that will really test whether or not you can take a turn off to ramp. I do think we keep it. We have all 3 colors of mana. We got removal. You know, being able to cast this will help us get to the Carver earlier, and, you know, we're reasonably likely to draw something else. All right, see, we got a 3-mana thing to play. I still think we probably routine and then routine again on the next turn with the Nest Guard. It's my guess. I guess if they play something really scary, maybe getting our 4/4 down is more worth it. But if it's just, yeah, if they don't play anything, then I think we definitely routine here. And we've got blue, we've got red, we got green. We have double colored anything? I don't really think we do, which is good news for our mana. So we have a bunch of green cards in our hand, so more green mana is more likely to be useful, I suppose. So we could also go Nest Guard, Piercing, Exhale if we have to on this turn if they play something scary. Again, they don't play anything. So I think that means we go Nest Guard, routine. We'll grab a mountain this time. So our Carver can come down. They're going to hit us for 2 here. But we're going to play Earth Carver next turn. And I think... do we go for sheer size on the Carver? Or do we go with 2 bodies? I mean, they're black. They haven't played anything. There's such a good chance that they have more removal. I think I'd probably go with 2 bodies. The one huge body is better with Exhale, potentially, but... yeah. We will make 2 bodies. Okay. Alright, well, we're not going to get to Surveil, which is a little sad, but... so, again, in the event that they have removal here, I think we play out the Nest Guard. Doesn't look like they do. Because it's way worse for them to kill a thing we want to attack with anyway than... so yeah, we'll hit them for 7 here. Then we have Exhale up for during their turn, too. So if they play something here and we kill it, swing back for 11, that seems pretty good. Our opponents have had slower decks than we have, which is a little surprising. I think they may kill our Earth Carver, yeah. An example of why making 2 bodies is better in many situations. That does not have Death Touch. I don't think I bother with the Exhale. Okay, well, drawing this again is pretty good. Does that give me, let's see, 1, 2, do I have enough mana? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. Yeah, I can hit him for 10 here now. But, like, It's not lethal, and they kind of have to block. So I think I'd probably still hold on to Exhale. I actually can't do all of it anyway, because the Nest Guard has Defender most of the time. So I'm just going to turn it... I'm just going to make it so it can attack, and then attack with everything here. Yeah, thank goodness Storm Shriek Feral can grow. Otherwise, that would be a real problem. Yeah, that'll give us lethal, even if we can't... Sure. Well, so far, we haven't... I mean, I guess we ramped in that game, and we got that Carver down on, like, 5, but it wasn't like... We haven't really gone super crazy with ramp here. It's just been, like... I play big creatures in removal. Surely we'll get to play Ureni at some point. We've had the mana for him both games, so, you know, that's a good sign. Okay, looks pretty good to me. Removal for early stuff. We got a 2-drop. We got some ramp. All 3 colors, although we can't have green and blue at the same time, necessarily. The Devotee will help us. This is a spot where it might actually be better to have the other Exhale because of Death Touch, but, you know. Whatever. I think routining is probably better than playing the Nest Guard, although maybe not. It's not like I have anything really to ramp into, but like being able to play Artisan plus Exhale next turn potentially is pretty legit. And I have the time to ramp now, so I think it's a good time to do it. We'll attack them for 2. Yeah, we'll grab ourselves an actual forest. And then next turn we can do, yeah, I mean, like, Artisan, Exhale, if we draw a land. We don't draw a land. So I'd probably still Exhale this thing. I can't attack through it after all. And then I probably Feral. I don't hate discarding the Nest Guard. Ooh, I can do it at instant speed, but it doesn't really make a difference here. I could also just ignore this thing for a turn, not get in for 2, and ramp my mana some more. Yeah, I don't hate that. Let's do that. Another forest, I guess. Yeah. I could attack. I guess it's not really a big deal, honestly, if my Devotee trades for that thing. It's not really doing anything for me. Yeah. Sure. Probably should have done it first, you know, but I think the trade is kind of what we want anyway, so... so I'll take it. Thank God I can kill that right away. Otherwise... I would not be happy. So Artisan into Exhale seems pretty good. Yeah. Yep. I do think we'll kill it now while they're tapped out. There's too many ways they could save their creature. So yeah, we'll play out the Artisan here. Get rid of that thing. This will probably be the game we draw Ureni when we aren't like drowning in mana. We don't have a bunch of mana to hanging out. Right. The fact that my Nest Guards are so bad at pressuring them is a little annoying right now, but like, you know, it's whatever. I'm trying to decide if it's better to play another one here and then send this one in for 4 than it is to play the Feral and attack for 3. Like, it probably is. Yeah. I still add to the board. I still do damage, but I do even more. I mean, granted, it's tricky for my Nest Guard to do much more. They have, like, all 5 colors pretty easily over there. Blue, red, white. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, we'll discard our Feral, sadly, so that we can exhale that dumb thing. This card is super good. Kind of funny, I can play the Battle Crier and then cast Exhale for 1, still attack them for 4. I guess there's a world, you know what? I'm okay with trading a Nest Guard for this thing. Although if they can reanimate it, I'm less okay with it. Alright, and then we'll play out our Battle Crier. So if they can reanimate that and make us discard Exhale, I'm not going to be thrilled about life. Right, they get a double Shock Brigade, which is pretty spicy. That's for sure. Good, 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 good. Drew a big old creature. Well, I'm not going to be able to cast Exhale at instant speed. I lost my dragon. I feel like I'm more worried about the Grappler because of its ability to block my Battle Crier. So I think we'll kill the Grappler here. These brigades can do a lot of damage, but I feel like I'm going to be able to outrace them. So... Plus I'm going to make 2 bodies with my Earth Carver here. So what happens if I draw Ureni right now? I have 2, 3, 4 power things. Yeah, I'd be able to cast it. It's pretty sweet. So they may be able to take advantage of their tokens here, which is super annoying. I do think I'm going to block this. And we'll take the rest. See what happens here. So being able to sack tokens for value and stuff is pretty gross. Looks like I kill 1 creature. Can live with it. Ah, yeah. That'll finish off my Nest Guard, but that's not exactly heartbreaking. I mean, I'd rather have it than not, but, you know. Okay, so I think I just swing with everything here. Probably kill my Battle Crier, but it's, at this point, trading off the Battle Crier is plenty good. We're out of gas, but they're close to out of gas too, hopefully. Yeah, that's not too scary. Oh, look, another Earth Carver. Yeah, we just swing with both of these. Our Earth Carvers have liked us. You know, we wanted to be playing big ol' Ureni, but I'll take Earth Carvers, I guess. So, yeah, we'll kill the Brigade. Hit him for 4. Play another Earth Carver. Make a 3/3. So far in this format, this has felt a lot like the 6-drop in the last set, where your opponent plays it, and suddenly the situation goes from, like, I could still win this game, to I can't win this game. And it's a common, you know, so... The one in the last set was a 6-mana 4/4 that gained you 4, but I think a 6-mana 7/7 reach that can also be a 4/4 reach and a 3/3 is comparable in terms of like just how much it adds to the board, just how much it slows people. I mean, it can even block most of the dragons and kill them. So, especially the lower rarity ones. Okay. Seeing some cards we haven't seen so far, like our Stormbrood and our Channeled Dragonfire, and we definitely keep it. We can even cast the this on 2, although we're going to play the Devotee, so it's not very likely that that's the route I take. Adding to the board is generally better than leaving up your mana and hoping you can counter something. That is a pretty good 2-drop, admittedly. Yeah, so here we will Dragonfire this thing. Goodbye. Attack them for 2. And then we can leave up both Exhale and this if they play another 2-drop. And we can play the Exhale at instant speed because of the Stormbrood. I'd kind of rather not have to cast it because just playing the creature seems pretty good right now. But, yeah, we can't counter that. We will kill it with Molten Exhale, though. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I don't think we ramp here, as much fun as it is to ramp. I think we just play out our creature. And we can cast Dragonfire again this turn. Currently we are out of removal, which hasn't really happened yet. Ooh. That thing is pretty gross. Luckily, it's not the scariest thing ever right now, but just the trigger plus a 3/3 is pretty good. Wow. That is a lot of Voices of Victory in the graveyard. Okay, so we're going to Roamer's Routine. Yeah. Then leave back our Devotee. So Roamer's Routine grows that to a 4. Yeah. I could just cast another Roamer's Routine, but I think I'm supposed to hit him for 4 here. Like, if I had one of my things to ramp into, if I had Ureni in my hand, I'd cast it again, but I don't think that's what we're supposed to do. So we're just going to hit him for 4. Man, Reach is annoying. Yeah, and they're going to be able to hit me for 3 here. Luckily, they don't have thresholds, so they don't get that part of the card. Ugh. More mana is not really where I wanted to be. However, you know, I think we just cast this for the full cost. Decline. Yeah. So we've got 6 lands left, well, basics left in our library. We do have 3 non-basics. Sure, another forest. Hit them for 4 more. Oh, actually, they'll block. That sort of overlooked that. I mean, I think the trade's okay, because I wasn't going to be able to just let that thing attack me, and I couldn't have killed it on defense, so it isn't what I meant to do, but it's probably not terrible. Yeah, that's not good. But they haven't done anything to... Oh, God, yeah, that is bad news right there. That Steel Cutter's so good. Molten Exhale doesn't really help me with it. I probably exhale the Light Shatter before I start getting free spells out of it. And I guess I can kill a token here with Dragonfire. Yeah, I don't hate it. Yeah, I mean, I think at this point we're hoping to draw an Earth Carver or Ureni to win this thing. So I think we'll get rid of this token. Oh, I do have to tap my creature to do it. Probably still worth it. Hopefully they can't double spell again. I mean, there's a real possibility they can. We do want to play out our lands when Ureni's in our deck. But yeah. Because he does damage equal to our lands. Okay. So they're going to double spell here, I think, and then hit us for 4. I don't think they cast that on our creature unless they can. Oh yeah, that is spicy right there. Ureni off the top. Let's do it. We might just be dead. I mean, that's 3 prowess tokens. I think Ureni's the only way we have any hope here. Look at that. Pack Beast doing its thing. Probably make another token. No, at least they didn't make a token. Ureni off the top. Let's do it. 2, 3, 4. I mean, we might not be dead. We probably are. But we have a chance to draw one more card. Okay. Yeah, we're not beating it. We were already in a horrible spot. We didn't need to see Elspeth there. Yeah, that Carver is pretty good. I think I gave it a B+ in the set review. I mean, I haven't seen enough of it yet to say it's even better, but I've seen a couple games like that where turns out they can just double spell like 2 turns in a row, and that's enough. I mean, like the way they did it too, they cast the other spell that makes more tokens for a discount. Like, that whole thing is brutal. Okay. You know, we're going to be able to kill everything they play early and hopefully draw more lands. I think I can accept that. Probably. Alright, that's going to help, probably. Unless we never draw a 3rd land. Which is possible. It's unlikely, but... Man, that is an annoying thing, though. This sort of thing could make removal a little bit worse. You know, because I kill it, but then they get value out of the graveyard, so is it really worth it? And I don't think I bother killing it right now, when I can play out a 2-drop. I mean, if I didn't have a 2-drop, I'd kill it, but... Next turn, we can Roamer's Routine and grab an island. Yeah, we'll take 2. I think they might kill our Devotee, but that's fine. Ugh. Now we're running into people actually playing 2 and 3 drops, and it's not going quite as well for us. So I could play the tapped Bivouac here now, but I think with the Earth Carver in our hand, ramping our mana is ideal. Killing the Lifelinker isn't a terrible idea. I mean, I'm going to take 5 on the backswing. Yeah, maybe I have to do it. And this still gives me good mana on a future turn. And then I can still get this down early. Yeah, I should probably kill the Lifelinker. They're going to have ways to put counters on it and stuff, so... Get the Lifelinker out of here. End our turn. We will take 2 again. Trading might be worth it at some point. Ugh. That's another card that makes removal bad. Because it just gives you a 2 for 1. Yeah. So they put a Winter Night Stories into their graveyard. Okay. Well, I think I routine here. That will mean I can play Earth Carver next turn and hopefully stabilize. Yeah, I'll grab a Forest. We probably trade for the Agent here when they attack us this time. That's my plan anyway. And then play the Earth Carver as 2 big creatures. I mean, the Agent can make something big, but it won't be so big I can't kill it with Molten Exhale, you know what I mean? So yeah, we'll go ahead and block here. Okay. Menace is a little bit scary, but I'm going to get 2 big bodies, so I'm a little less scared. Yeah, we do need to play the untapped land here so that we can do the Earth Carver. It's going to be real sad if we never draw Ureni in this draft, isn't it? We've got at least one more game to do it, plus what's ever left of this one, so... Yeah, get rid of my token. That means your Menace thing can attack at least. And if they're holding a trick in their hand, it may mean even more can attack. Luckily, you don't appear to have a trick. Okay. Another body sounds pretty good. Yeah. So, I think it puts the counter on itself, because it's big enough to stand up to all this stuff. And then... 7, huh? Yeah, I don't quite have the mana to... Tap, yeah. So, we're just going to cast an Exhale on the Menace creature. And it's like, our deck doesn't draw a lot of cards, but we do search our library for lands, thinning it out, increasing our chances of drawing Ureni, and we still haven't gotten it, so... It's a little sad. I mean, we've seen our Bivouac a lot, and we have the same number of those. This does seem like a game... Gross. This does seem like another game where we sort of have to, try and draw... Ooh. Alright, so we're going to take a big hit here. You are not Ureni. And I don't appreciate you not being Ureni. But maybe you'll help us get there. Yeah, so let's exhale the lifelinker. Might still be dead, of course. It does seem like it's been harder. You know, our first few games, we were able to sort of just be fine by playing out random 2, 3s, and 4s. But our next 2 opponents both, you know, hit us with much better curve outs, cards that made our removal bad, you know, and that's not good. Right now, if we draw Ureni, we can't even cast it, so that's obviously a problem. Oh yeah, they just have lethal anyway. Yeah. Yep. They just went way too wide on us with Endure for our little... You know, even though we played our Earth Carver, it didn't quite, you know, stand up to what they had going on enough to... make the game go long enough, unfortunately. Well, we may only have one more chance to cast Ureni. Hopefully we do. I'm going to feel kind of bad if I put it in the thumbnail and then we don't cast it. But we did draft our entire deck with that strategy in mind, which I think is enough for it to be on the thumbnail. But, you know, it is... Yeah, you could argue it's false advertising, I guess. We've never even seen it in our opening hand, which is really sad, but this hand's okay. I'm a little worried about not having a bunch of early interaction, but we do have a Dragonfire. Okay, we have something worth ramping into now, too. I wonder if I Stormshriek Feral. Well, I was sort of thinking about it, but now I think playing a gain land on 2 is a good idea. They didn't play anything on turn 1 or 2. I like it. Play nothing on 3. Ooh. That's pretty big and scary when we don't have one of our removal spells in hand. That's for sure. I think I'm going to Roamer's Routine because playing Sage of the Fang does not really do anything right now. So, yeah, we'll Routine here. Yeah. Oh, God. The hand, you know, how many of our exhales have we seen? Oh, good. One showed up, at least. I can do it at instant speed, but with what they've got going on, I don't think we can take that risk. So, yeah, we'll play our Sage. Give it a counter. So I can kill the Pummeler, but then they'll be able to put counters on that, which really puts it out of range of our removal. And it's a Trampler. So I think we let them actually keep the Pummeler here. And hope that our Earth Carver can stabilize us on this next turn. That's the dream. Okay. Smash in for 4. Is a 6-7 better here? I mean, it's another opponent playing black, so I'm not very confident about the idea. And a 4 can at least trade with the Pummeler. So, I mean, I think we go with 2 bodies yet again here. And I don't think we attack. No. We've at least gotten our shields up more than we have in the last couple of games. But we'll see whether it's enough. We can Dragonfire twice, which is definitely, like, a thing. Yeah, I think we block. If they use a trick, it's fine. And if they don't, that's fine. Gross. Do they go big? I think against our colors, I'd go big. Because it's a lot less likely we can kill it once you make it big. Yeah. I think they made the right call. So, I think I'm going to Storm Shriek Feral here. We haven't done that yet, but playing out a 3-3... doesn't... A 5 mana 3-3 isn't really where I want to be right now. So, we're going to Omen. I kind of forgot we had Dragon Sniper, but that lines up really nicely here. So, that was a good draw. Yeah. So let's play Nest Guard into Sniper and enter turn. Well, it's the first time we've seen our Sniper. Right now, we don't have the mana for Ureni. We aren't that far off thanks to our Roamer's Routine, but yeah. Getting the Death Toucher down should help. Okay. Yeah, we'll go ahead. I think we Roamer's Routine and tap our Nest Guard. And we play a Nest Guard. And we channel Dragonfire this thing. And pass the turn. These creatures are big enough that Ureni, you know, is going to have a little bit of a hard time dealing with the problem. Yeah, putting the counters on the Pummeler gives you like 2 legit threats, and I can only trade my Dragon Sniper for one of them. So, yeah, right now we're 1 mana short for Ureni, should we draw it. I love that they didn't attack me. That's like exactly what we want. Let's play the Devotee here. Dragonfire doesn't really do anything. If we want to use Exhale, we have to use it now because we don't have a dragon. So I'm going to go ahead and exhale the Pummeler here. See how that goes. Might save it. They do not. Dragon firing really doesn't do anything. I mean, I could attack... Well, no, I have to pay mana to attack with the Nest card. They're, like, trying to draw a way to answer the Sniper, and obviously it dies to, like, every removal spell. So it's bound to happen eventually. But we still have so many bodies on the board that it's not the end of the world if they do. I mean, it's not good. But looks like they drew it, yeah. Yep. Goodbye, Dragon Sniper. I have a pretty good block for that thing. So yeah, I'm still not... Oh, good. I think maybe I go big now. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't have a ton of black mana, and I need my own 7/7 to feel good about things. so let's do it. Gross. Yeah, that card's pretty sweet. Just throw counters around. Good, we drew another Death Toucher. That's helpful. Cards. So every time we draw a card, there's a 5% chance it's Ureni, but we actually still need one more land, like I said. Right now, it would just be a 10/10 that kills our Earth Carver, but I guess that's pretty good. That is pretty good, I guess. 10/10 flyer, kill your best creature. It does seem like there's a lot of things they could draw that would disrupt this stalemate more than I would like. Hey! We're 1 mana short, but all we gotta do is draw it. It also has protection from white, which is certainly relevant. These things are big enough that, like, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to kill one of them. But we did draw Ureni, people. And we're just 1 land. Surely we'll draw that land before we die. Right? Probably. Maybe. The world's biggest Flame Tongue Kavu is all it's really gonna... Which, you know, that's a good card, but most of the time it's gonna come down and kill like 3 things, but our opponent's bodies are so big that it's not gonna go quite that smoothly. I'm gonna be pretty happy if they attack me and give me the opportunity to take down one of these bodies, because then Ureni coming down is an even bigger deal. And I think we can trade a lot more aggressively, block a lot more aggressively now than we could earlier. Thanks to that fact. But I don't know that they're going to attack us. Okay. Well, it'll do 9 damage now. So if they put a counter on like an Earth Carver, I'll still be able to kill it. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and we will Roamer's Routine. Grab a Forest. Roamer's Routine. We'll tap this. Where is our island? It must be in our... Oh, yeah, we discarded it. Yeah, that makes sense. We do also have the Devotee who can fix our mana, but if they destroyed our... if they destroyed it and our Thornwood Falls, it would be a very sad day indeed. Protection from white and black might come up. We haven't seen what they're splashing black for. Maybe Skirmish Rhino. They probably have a few Abzan cards, but they've also got one red card. Oh, God. Unless I draw a land, I can't kill the Botanist. So... Oh, well, I am happy they played Stormplane Detainment now, rather than later. Let's see how they attack us here. Because I can just block a bunch and kill as much stuff as I can. And then play Ureni and hopefully kill everything else. That's kind of what I'm hoping. There's a good chance they don't attack us, but at the same time, like, you don't really expect your opponent... I mean, maybe you should, given all the ramp we have in our deck. Alright, so we're going to try to kill both of these. Then play Ureni and wipe the rest of the board. That's the game plan here. Alright. So to accomplish that, we block like this. There's a chance, a good chance, that they break up one of these blocks. It's just a question of which one. Yeah, I'm less than enthused about that, because I need to draw another land to kill Traveling Botanist. But we do keep a body. Well, we can just kill both of these. I guess that's pretty good. This will get bigger, is the downside. Can I Dragonfire in the same turn I play Ureni? No. I also can't Molten Exhale in the same turn. This will be an 11-12. Man, they just got so big on us. Alright. Well, it is sad that Ureni's not going to be able to do more, but it's pretty good. Because if I could just kill this, it has protection from both of these. You know what I mean? But it looks like it's not quite going to go that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. So they've got nothing. So even if they swing at us next turn, the most they can do is 11. I mean, I think I hit them for 5. And hope that they don't draw a haste creature or a way to put a counter on something. I think that's our safest bet. If they did draw a counter, if they did draw a trick, it's not going to be good, but... I don't think we can't win quickly enough if we didn't swing with both of those. You go to 1. Oh, why did they draw a card that does direct damage when we're at 1? Well, we did cast it. It almost won us the game. Maybe I should have been a little more conservative on that swing. Like, just accepted that I should only do 3 damage. Well... Yeah, and then I would have chumped the 11-12, but God, that's frustrating. But you know, I think ramp is pretty legit in the format. It's early. I've had 2 ramp decks where it did seem like I had the time to do it most of the time. You know, you get run over sometimes, but a card like Ureni and even the Earth Carver, getting those down early is a pretty good payoff. So that'll do it for this draft video. I'll see you all in the next one.